I did that for you.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to Matchmakers. And we got a guest with us tonight, coming to chill with us. And obviously we got sports fanatic. But what's up, coach? How you doing, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good, brother. I'm good. I appreciate y'all boys for having me, though.
Oh, yes, sir. It's
Uh,
mandatory.
but we just want to introduce this Coach Rod for everybody. This Coach Rod, I met him a couple years ago. Um, he was coaching with Rarebreed at that time. He has coached Rarebreed to be in multiple national rankings, multiple D1 Nation tournaments. He's played in YNC. He's played in D1 Specs. He's played at Southern Hospitality. He's played, man, he done played in every big time tournament you can think of. He also works very closely with R&R. You see him with the top 100 jacket. This year, coach is coaching 12U. Um, and we gonna give coach the flow to give us anything that I might miss, man.
Nah, for sure, it's been a journey, man. We started this thing off putting a team together. I started at River. People don't know this, but I started in Riverdale, bro. Like I started in Riverdale at 5U and 6U, and built that and moved over to Fayetteville. Pandemic year actually is what took us over to Red Breed.
Okay.
Um, Trying to just get some work and play. And shout out to Demarcus. You know what I mean? He opened the doors and was like, "Yo, let's get busy." And we took the team out that way, and we've been rare. You know what I mean? Um, the journey is real, man. The journey is real. Clocking miles, man. From Florida to Alabama, Tennessee, California, New York, New Jersey, like anywhere they calling for that smoke, man. You know, we've been popping out and pulling up, man, just to kind of build up. You know what I mean? Just build the boys up, man. So a lot of people don't really kind of understand the whole purpose of travel ball, you know. So I'm gonna just break that quick one to you, real quick. The football has changed, fellas. See what I'm saying? Like if you go to high schools are traveling now. You know what I mean? I see
Mm,
Weston up here. I see Carrollton going down. And it's leading through college and all the way to, the league if, God's will they make it there. So we try to implement that, man. Let them kids get used to doing interviews. Let them kids get used to seeing and playing against competition that they may not ordinarily see in the city. And most importantly, man, let them see it's a world outside of Atlanta. You did?
absolutely. And that's the part that I
Yeah.
was definitely for travel ball because some people don't even get a chance to ever travel outside of their city, and I was one of them coming up from Oakland, California. Basically, I just seen my city, and that's all I knew, the Bay Area. So I agree with that. But far as ranking goes, and far as you know, down the line when teams are one loss away from not going to nationals or going to the AYF, a lot of teams they pull out. That's the part where I kind of deviate away from it. But speaking to what you just said, I am for it in that regards.
Yeah, so let me go back to what your point though, right? Let me counter that because you got to ask yourself, what have you done, right? Because a one loss won't keep you out of YNC. Okay, let's just be honest. One loss don't keep you out of YNC. We have seen it time and time and time and time again where you get teams we having 3 and 4 losses. You know what I mean? Get the AC and show up down in Florida. It's all about putting in the work, right? You can have that one loss, right? But what was the margin? You know what I mean? What you lose by? Who did you lose to? You know what I mean? Where did you go? Did you go and lose in their backyard? Because that matters. We all know what home cooking look like.
Ooh,
So it's like you got to filter in a lot when you say a one loss situation. The other thing is, right, coach, to your point, look what just happened to Florida State. Undefeated season, ain't been done, can't get a shot for the title, right?
Yeah.
Football is a lot of politics, man, and I think people overlook, the checks and balances when you running an organization or a league, and actually what that look like on the back end. You just kind of root for the team that you supporting. You get what I mean? But when you get into that real deal, you start learning, which is another reason why I locked in with R&R, man, because like that back end politic, my boy Cat been putting me on, like it's eye opening. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's adversity. Football is adversity, coach. That adversity you speaking on, Florida State had to go through it. Like it's gonna be another team and another team. You feel me?
I ain't gonna lie, coach. I don't really play the politics.
Yeah, he don't play
I don't. I'm not it. I'm for the babies.
the.
Whoever win, best man win. I don't do the politics. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Politics is life.
yeah, I mean it is, but sometimes that comes when you older though. It don't have to be when you younger. You feel what I'm saying? That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel
It
like
happens though. It does
if
happen
there's a
though.
kid and they're equally good, I'm not going by who's been good longer. I'm going by, who actually edged it out. I'm not going to say, you know what? This kid is because this person, I know this person or I know this person. I'm not going to judge it off that. So when it in that regards to politics, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But I know it. It's the thing.
No,
Politics is definitely a thing. I'm
nah,
just not one to play it.
politics, coach. That's daddy ball. That's favoritism. That's what they talk about is something totally different, Holmes. We don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody will tell you, we don't rock like that. Best 11 must play. You know what I mean? Every week we got different starters. That's just the way Rarebreed is ran, bro. Like in this Rarebreed organization, when we first got here, we was kind of shocked, right? Because we'll go in with a depth chart. Them folk, man, look, man, the market throw that shit out the window. We don't believe in depth charts. Like, ask for a receiver. Whoever want to play, he gonna walk on the field.
Mm. Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, them kids when we got here, man, they were subbing they self, man. Them coaches don't sub on this level. When a kid mess up, the captain of the team send that kid off the field and somebody run on. We
Mm.
don't believe in politics. The best
Yeah.
11 must play. You know what I mean? And that's crossed the line. You can watch the tape. You're gonna see multiple kids. You know what I mean? And
So
all
what's your form of politics, coach?
my
Like
form.
when you say
Okay, I give you a great example. You think Nick Saban gonna play 6 hard dog games in one season, or you think he gonna take the whatever Florida or Auburn or whatever the top is, and then he gonna make his way to his national championship?
coach, don't make me cry on this show. I can't stand how Alabama got that weak schedule and they still end up, you know what I'm saying? Like
Every year.
And
Every year.
I was saying it, coach, based off of what you were saying about a one loss, two loss team. You know what I mean? That's when politics come into play. That's when you got to look at the strength of schedule and who they played and how you lost and where you was at. Like that's politics. You get what I'm saying?
oh yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah.
When strength of schedule, we talked about that all last season.
hmm Yeah, I think you kind of merging though, coach. Like daddy ball and favoritism. Man, we don't even let parents on the field. We could care less. You get your
Mhm.
Like that's the whole thing about building a team. You get what I'm saying? On travel side, you build a team. So it's always next man up. It's a little bit different when you playing for some of the, city teams and recreation where they got bylaws that kind of bind you to kids playing time or you know what I mean, how many kids you can have. It get tricky there. But nah, coach, for the most part, we don't do no daddy ball, no favoritism. I bench my own son, coach. Action. Put AJ on here. Hey,
Yeah.
if that boy missed a tackle, his ass going to the bench, Holmes. Like,
Mm.
just is what it is. Next man up.
So, Coach, you have been in probably one of the toughest age groups in youth football, man, especially in Georgia. You every year you have to play the number one team year in and year out.
Man,
And you got to turn around and play another top team in ABA year in and year out. Two of the top teams in the nation. Then you got to throw y'all in the mix. And I want to say just last year, I think y'all reached as far as number 4 or 5 in the rankings, man. How do you sustain that when you got to go against a dog like Lambo?
man, I think it's mental.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's mental. And I think like I tell a lot of these people, man, when they holler at me up and down these different little states and tournaments, people got to understand these kids go to school together, right? It's this little triangle of kids that playing on this travel ball level, and it's only a handful. It's only maybe 100 kids that play on this level, and we divided by what 4 teams.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's really like the luck of the draw, or what really how they feeling that day. You get what I'm saying? And if you can keep the kids from going in the tank, you get what I'm saying? Then you can compete. But this age group at 12, is rough, bro. Like I tell people all the time, like I really do believe, like everybody should come to Georgia at this age group. We shouldn't even have to go nowhere because like it's teams that I felt like that could compete that wasn't even in the conversation. Like everybody talk about Lambeau, Rarebreed, ABA, ATL Elite. But boy, I think Tucker would have spanked some of them folks if they lined it up. You know what I mean?
About to talk to you about them too. All
And
right, go ahead, cuz.
yeah, ain't Douglasville always be a piece or two away? They go put up a good fight. You know what I mean? Midway, never back down. You get what I'm saying? Midway always fighting to the like whistle blow. And I just feel like a lot of teams outside of Georgia don't really understand because they got one or two good teams. Home, we got like 6 or 7 right here in the state that's really like dog play. It's 5, 6 kids on every team you try to take after every game.
Yeah.
It seemed like it's that way until you get about to 13U. Then all of the teams they kind of merge with each other because that's what it's been since the Falcons United.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think it was what's the other team? At one point I think it was Rarebreed. They did have ABA, but I mean they didn't have nobody here to compete with them. But I think when they get to that 13, that age, they don't really have competition here like that. But then from 11 or 12 and down,
Mm-hmm.
they do got some of the top teams in the nation, at least about 6 of them.
Well, that's kind of in reverse too, Holmes, because like I think it changes now. I think it changed last year, right? I think it changed on a coaching level because now I got to compete with middle school ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And the middle school coaches got their hands on these kids 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Because most of them either a PE coach, a math teacher, you know, and they in these kids' ear pretty much. You know what I'm saying? 100% of the time. You get what I'm saying? So you kind of get parents that's kind of undecided at 11, 12. You know what I mean? Other states don't have middle school ball. So
Right.
Florida going to have a 13U. They don't have that option. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So here in Georgia, it's going to be a lot of merging going on because you losing what 3 or 4% of them 120 kids that play national ball on each level.
How do you feel about middle school ball, coach?
Um, I'm biased, bro. Like Um, I went and checked out a couple programs. I like what I saw. You get what I mean? But I really don't know about how I feel about 8 games, 2 playoffs. Like you want a season if you're gonna do that. You get what I mean? You definitely want coaches to be committed if you're gonna do that. Sometimes, like when you running and you looking, these coaches don't really be serious and committed. You got a couple like North Clayton, Cedar Grove, Eddie White. You got a few that I visited that the coaches did serious, but not all on. But the flip side of that is they now doing this whole 8th grade. I don't know if y'all know about that, like that
Mm-hmm.
about it, because you know I'm from Miami, but
Yeah.
how that go, right? But 8th grade, you can go to 8th grade, and if you in a high school feeder program, you could play 9th grade ball in the eighth
Mm-hmm.
grade. You know what I'm saying? Now
Mm-hmm.
that makes it worth it to me. Like, cause if you can hold up and be on varsity all 4 years of your high school
Right.
career, like, you know what I mean? That speaks volume on the recruitment side. So that would make me a little biased. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, I see the first thing. Name a team. It's some good teams out in these other places, man. Columbus got Twin Cities. They got another team called Columbus Knights. I want to say Augusta got Trinity Elite. Um, so yeah, it's some good teams outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, you got what? Albany Seahawks.
Albany Seahawks, yeah, it's some really good
I like
teams.
calling names because people start feeling like you getting left out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's why I don't want to
It,
call some because
it's
I can
too
if I
many
get
names.
my bad, but no, it's definitely some teams outside of that metro area that can come and make a lot of noise, man. And just to keep your eyes on, man, Trinity Elite is a program where I would say just keep your eyes on Trinity
Oh,
Elite.
for sure. Oh,
It's
for sure.
a program that is trying
Oh,
to make different moves this year, and
right.
they try to open some stuff up. So,
And Charles, let me be clear. I only mentioned certain teams that has been really a
hmm
thorn in my backside. I wasn't leaving nobody out. You get what
yeah, I be scared to leave folks out, man. They
I'm
gonna make
I ain't trying to leave nobody. I'm speaking on some. I was only speaking on some of the teams that I competed against that has been thorns in my side. But it's for sure a whole mob of teams throughout Georgia in itself. You know what I mean? Which is why I say I think teams need to come to Georgia.
for 12U this year, coach. Who do you got your eye on? What's the teams that you feel like I gotta keep my eye on this team right here.
I ain't worried about nobody at 12, you homes.
Oh.
All right, you got Lambo, you got ABA,
They been
and
there.
then Tucker ain't a thing. I'm kind of sad that Tucker didn't decide to play this 12U because they
Mhm.
was really good last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who else they have? I think that's
In
that's
Georgia.
yeah, that's mainly it.
Mhm.
As far as the team that competing, he said, "Nah, come to Florida, the Mecca."
I'm from Miami, Holmes. Like I am Florida, born and raised. You know what I mean? My mom over town, my daddy in the city. Like I graduated from Miami Jackson. I am in the Mecca. I am from the Mecca. You know what I mean? But when folks start talking to me about the career, like I could go deep into that because I played at Liberty City. You know what I mean? I played my whole youth career at Liberty City in the heart of Dade County. You know what I'm saying? But even down there, it's not hitting the same. You get what I'm saying? Like, boy, we used to have a schedule where you had to play overtime, leave overtime next week. We got Gwen Cherry. The week after that, we got to go way down to Goose. Like, you don't have them rivalries down there no more. You
Mhm.
get, and now it's like everybody going to Gwen Cherry or Miami Gardens. When those teams, matter of fact, people don't even know these Murder Grove charges, you know what I mean, were first up, which is why I started my coaching career. You know what I mean? When I first came home, I went to coaching at Murder Grove. But long story short, even down there. So let me give y'all a free game on what Florida doing, right? Florida merging kids to the age group. So they have one major 12U, one major 11U, one major 10U, one major 9U. Parents traveling to load up so they could get the YNC. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog Pete. But look at Pete for the Hurricanes roster. Man, Pete got folk coming in from all over, moving to play for him from Tampa, Orlando, Dade County, Perrine. You know, like they all coming to squad up to get that championship. Them parents relocating to be in that man backyard. They to be like that back in when I played in Florida. You know what I mean?
Mhm. How do you feel about that though, Cole? How you feel about all that?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't see the problem, bro. Just being
Okay.
honest with you. Like, if you looking at a problem with that, you know what I mean? Like, just being honest, you got to look at what Florida Gators doing to UM. You got a problem with that? Like, they in
Mhm.
their backyard taking all the speed and all the time up top to Gainesville. Like, you got to do what's best for your kid, man. At the end of the day, whatever make the best sense for your child, that's gonna get your child that exposure. That's
Mhm.
gonna put your child in the place or platform that that child want to be on, man. Go with your move.
I say this though. It's sometimes it's a flaw, it's a fault to it. It's a flaw in it. Because like we end up doing like one of them the player comparisons, right? And we talked about a player, right? Who is it? Two-way Trey, who is
Absolutely.
a really good player, but how he get lost in the fact that he's playing with other people that have a bigger name than him. So people don't really understand how effective and how good this young kid is. I say sometimes that can be a hindrance to some of them kids that's trying to go and play on some of these elite teams. You know what I'm saying? So
How, coach?
how? Because he may not get the credit or he may not get the
The
recognition that he
recognition.
deserves. You feel what I'm
So,
saying?
but then what you doing it for? So are we doing this? Are we doing this? What's your end goal? Right? Because for me, iron sharpen iron. I don't want my son, and Charles know because again, Charles, my guy. I met him through videography. Charles know my son. I don't post my son like that. I don't brag on my son like that. I let my son get amongst all dogs. But when he step out and different high school camps and stuff, he stands out when he's supposed to. You get what I mean? But he get that from playing behind certain kids, or I shouldn't even say behind, playing with certain kids, playing in certain systems. Like, what's your end goal? Because if your end goal is just youth sports, then okay, go get your recognition. Like, by all means, go be the greatest youth player ever to touch this. You get what I'm saying? But for me, my end goal is a scholarship for my son. And that means he has to be coachable. He has to be willing to compete because these kids getting scholarships from every state known, right? And then he has to understand that every year they're gonna drop some more scholarships and your position is at risk again.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when it comes to like Coach Mark, right? I always give him his credit because I feel like he actually took some of the best kids and still was able to enhance their play, right? If you look at all the kids that played on this team, some of them are at the top schools doing some amazing things, right? I get that part. But the part where it becomes an issue is it create not only does it create problems amongst the parents, a lot of the times, even if they're playing for coaches, right, with some of the top players, a lot of the times they still not getting the development. A lot of times you feel what I'm saying? Like not everybody is developing these kids.
So
These
how do you
kids are
balance
carrying
that?
some of these coaches, to be
How do
honest.
you balance that, coach? How do you? I've seen your team. I didn't see you have 35 kids, 40 kids, all of that good stuff.
How
How do
many
you balance
how many coaches
40 kids?
how many
Oh,
coaches you see me with? That's how
host
you balance it. You gonna see me with, bro. Let me explain. We got a head coach, we got an OC, we got a DC, we got an O-line coach, running back coach, quarterback coach, receiver coach, right? Then we got a D-line coach, linebacker coach, a corner coach, a safety coach, a special team coach, and 2 trainers. That's how you balance that.
Yeah, that's how y'all getting it done too. Like I say, when it came to that team, that organization, I ain't had a problem with the best playing the best because I knew the development was there, but it ain't always the case.
Nah, cause see, a lot of times these leagues they hold you to you can't have but 6 coaches, but they want to make you tote 25 kids and make sure they play. Like, you know what I mean? For me, playing ball long as I did, that's pretty much impossible, right? Because you if you on defense, you watching what the offense trying to do to you. How you watching what they doing and watching who they subbing? How you watching what a ref spot the ball? You get what I'm saying? How you watching for injuries for a kid come down? Better yet, how do you grab that kid who made a mistake and coach him up on the sideline while the game going on if they want to limit you to 5 coaches in a team on? Get what I'm saying?
That's some good questions.
See the sauce is having this a staff, not a bunch of daddies, not a bunch of people who just want to give back to the community. Shout out to them, but you got to have some folk that and this something else I learned with Maul too. You can't coach what you don't know, cause I ain't know a lot when I got there. Got there, and them boy took me to a whole nother level. But you can't coach what you don't know, and you got to if it's only 2 of y'all that know and the other 4 just there, coach, you gonna struggle with some of them issues that you speaking on. But we told 35 kids, man. We told them, and the other thing about it, when you speak on parents, parents got to be committed. You get what I'm saying? And they can't be committed to microwave success. You can't bring a kid into this system or a built system and think automatically because little Danny was the guy when he was on this team, he gonna come over here with all these dogs and dominate. That's rare, bro. Like they gotta learn the system, learn where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like when you start coaching real football, you ain't teaching no dog on one gap, no three, hit the
Mhm.
4 hole. You don't do that, bro. You find a lane and get in it. But how do you do that? You got to know your tracks. You got to figure out what alignment gonna be and get where you need to be. See what I'm saying?
Right,
So I think the development comes down to the individual reps. You know what I'm saying? And how hard your child locked in on individual reps. And I think parents have to be committed to the overall success, bro. You got to bring them kids to practice. You know what I'm saying? You got to hold them accountable. You can't say everything the coach fault. When coach throw your son out there, he don't went the wrong way twice,
right.
or he see like Mello, or and I'm saying Mello meaning a solid, strong, fast back hitting the backfield, and his ass want to hop on his back and run out the way. Well, that ain't coach fault.
Yeah,
You got to put somebody in there want to get in there and play ball. But of course, I mean, it's all gonna be coach fault. But sometimes it just be the luck of the draw, bro. And I leave it at that. But just being honest with you, it can be balanced, man. But you got to have a staff. You got to have a staff.
I agree with that 100%.
right, right.
I definitely agree with that. So the kids, one thing I have seen so far, right, as I've been doing youth, a lot of kids just have been playing on talent, but they don't know schemes. They don't really know how to do much of anything. And then I seen some of the top teams that actually know how to do reads. Some actually know how to audible. Some know, how to check down, do just basically do the essentials, right?
Right.
So how do you coach a kid that it takes them a while to actually learn the game plan? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't learn, even like for school, everybody learns differently, and not everybody learns instantaneously. So how do you, take the extra time for that kid to teach them, schemes and how to read the defense and offenses?
It's a couple ways we do it. Well, it's a couple ways I was taught to do it. You get what I'm saying? You rep the hell out of it. Install, 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 install. Riverside, install, 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 Riverside, install, install, install until it become muscle memory, right?
Mm.
The biggest thing as like the last 4 years, um, to your question is coaches be feeling like these kids, can't get it or it's too much for them or what I mean? But these kid brain is a sponge, Holmes. Like I was just watching some 6 year olds play 7-on-7 throwing 30-yard balls. Like we weren't throwing passes at no 6, 7 years old. Like we got to, as coaches, as like real coaches and football fans, we got to get away from saying what these kids can't do. Right? You just got to coach them and teach them. Yeah, some of them might learn slow. You know what I mean? So yeah, in practice, you work it, work it, work it. In game time, you get a kid what he need to shine and build his confidence to let him know he can play. You know what I mean? He might be a deep ball receiver in the game, but get what we doing in practice? All quick screens, quick stuff, quick stuff, quick stuff. You know what I mean? So when that light come on, we gonna turn into an all around receiver. You get what I'm saying? Like you give a kid what he need to shine, but behind the scene, you get the kid and you grind, bro. Just grind with him. He'll pick it up. They all pick it up. You know what I mean? But and this the other thing too. Everybody not a running back. Everybody not a quarterback. Everybody not a linebacker. You got to put kids in a position that God naturally placed them to play. You can't look at a kid and say, "Oh, he's 5'11, he gonna be a linebacker." Nah, Holmes, he might be better for your team as a DN.
Right.
So
He
you
like
so
it.
so you believe in trying out different positions? Because I'm gonna say that I've seen like Coach Mark and them do it because Quan, he was one of the top, like long as I've seen him, DN, and then he ended up playing wide receiver, and then you know what I'm saying. I noticed a age above, but I've seen that actually be the case. So you are also a firm believer that every kid should try multiple positions.
Oh, for sure, bro. Like I done seen myself, bro. In youth, I played D line. Got to high school and played strong safety. Like
Mhm.
you don't know, what these kid bodies gonna form and turn into
Right.
when they hit that growth spurt. You don't really know what that looks like. The kid might be a tackle now, but hell, he done grew three feet out there. He a tight end now. You get what I'm saying? So you done hindered him by not letting him learn how to catch, not letting him come do them ladder drills when y'all out there doing them, not letting him learn the back paddle. You get what I'm saying? Like, man, if they want to work, let's work. Like, you can put the pieces to the puzzle on that back end. You get what I'm saying? But you definitely should let all kids should play at least 2 or 3 positions, either on one side of the ball or you can split them in half on both sides of the ball. But I definitely don't think no kid, not even a quarterback, should be limited to just throwing the ball, bro. Like that, that ain't that ain't the move.
Coach, I've seen you get, for example, I didn't seen you at 9, you have a quarterback, then come back 10, you have a whole new quarterback that nobody knows, right? I ain't gonna say nobody, but it wasn't as popular, right? And now be one of the most popular kids in that age group. How do you deal with your kids with the success? Do you ever fear kids leaving after you take the time to really build them up?
Coach, you just said you answered that question for me, coach. You know what I'm saying? You did, bro. Like kids come, kids go, man. Like you gotta coach what's in front of you. You get what I'm saying? And if you feel a void, you know what I mean, then you go find a kid, right? So, and to be honest, if you out here and you not trying to find you a core, right? Then you coaching backwards anyway. Like you should be at all D1 stuff. You know what I mean? You should be at Warzone beginning of the year. You should be at, the Lambo tournaments, in the beginning of the year when they going on. Holmes, that's how you find Diamond in the Rust, bro. They sitting on the bench. You know what I'm saying? They could play ball. You get what I'm saying? They just dogs amongst dogs. Don't mean he can't come be a dog for you. So like for me, I love D1s at the end of the year. Get what I'm saying? I love meeting parents out there. You feel what I'm saying? I love going to them camps, and watching kids compete, um, and talking to parents and telling them come give it a shot, like come give it a try. And they kind of like it over here, as you can see. Like they like it. They come, they lock in. They kids get better, and they get better because in a quarterback situation over here, we don't tell our quarterback who to throw the ball to. Don't care you throw the ball to. It's about your progressions and your reads. Like a lot of quarterbacks come, coaches don't teach them that. They don't give them that. They don't give them the keys or a check down. They tell them throw the ball to one. Throw the ball here. You know what I mean? Some of these quarterbacks, and it's sad, but some of them last year when I ran into a couple quarterbacks, they don't even know their progression songs. Like they don't know when you're on a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what they looking for. If the Mike linebacker dropping or if he coming up, they ain't figuring it out. You know what I mean? You want the high drag or the low drag. Like they ain't figuring it out because they ain't been taught. So they just moving off, like you say, pure talent. But when you come over and play with us, or you play with in the system, you got to be disciplined, homes. Like you got to be real disciplined, and that's how you get your success. Like you got to do your job. You know what I mean? Just do your job, your reads and your keys.
I love that, Coach. Coach, what's next for Coach Rod, man? Like where are we at this year, Coach Rod? What's next for you?
Hey man, this year it's so last year, man. I had a lot of things going on outside of football, that I had to get a handle on. So last year, I ended up stepping over to the side and kind of stepping back a little bit, and handing the team over to my good buddy, and he did a great thing with it. But this year, I'm gonna go to the Atlanta Chargers, home. Um,
Mm,
Coach Will reached out, man, and he like all the time just to check on me, just to see what's good. He'll hit me, ask me what's going on with my food truck and stuff. But I really, really fell in love with some of the stuff I witnessed. You get what I'm saying? I witnessed Will doing over there with the Atlanta Chargers on the development side at all age groups. You know what I mean? Like I watched Will Daddy, man, stay out there from the 5U to the 12s and 13s, helping everybody. I watched hugs. Them folks hug, bro. Like they really like. I don't mean like
Yeah,
itty. I mean like they pound up and
yeah.
it ain't that little flimsy handshake type vibe over there. You feel me? It's a big family. So this year, man, I'm committed to helping Will, man. He opened the doors with open arms for me, man, to come over. And we going with the Chargers this year, man.
All
We going
right.
mm.
with the Chargers.
We still 12U?
Yeah, we 12 you.
Okay.
So
I,
what's the first step? Now that you go into the organization, are you still scouting for talent? Did you already see the core, or was your decision just solely based on the culture that you seen?
I think all that played a part in my decision. My son is a receiver. That's his first love is catching routes. So I definitely wasn't going anywhere that didn't have a quarterback. These folks got two.
Mm,
um the culture is crazy, right? So like day one, Coach Will put me in the coaches chat, man, right? And when I tell you the coaches chat be so lit, like it's never a dull moment in these people chat because it's the whole org in a group chat. All the coaches from 5 to 13 is in one chat. And when I tell you that shit lit, bro, like it go crazy, bro. I be sitting at work, man, about to get in trouble, man, trying to read and laugh at some of the stuff that they be putting out. And that family vibe right there, it's unmatched for me, man. You feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? You feel empowered. Um, Coaches listen. Coaches accept other coaches' advice. Coaches actually reach out to other coaches and ask for their advice. And nobody feel like, you know what I mean, like a person, dick riding them or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, dude, you know what I mean, doing too much type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in there, they helping each other, homes. So I think the coach played a big part. The two wide receivers played a part. And I'm not gonna name kids because I don't want to name kids out. But I'm gonna tell you straight, them folks wasn't but a player or two away last year from making way more noise than they made, bro. They had receivers already. They got two monster DNs already. You know what I mean? They got a phenomenal free safety already. You know what I'm saying? And we bringing some pieces in. So
yeah, and my dog right here, man, Coach Darren. He says pull up to Southern Hospitality. You want to see the team. You know what I'm
how do you
saying?
feel? How do you feel about those type of? Because I ain't gonna lie, Coach. When you come around, expectations, you feel what I'm saying, go up. It just come with your. It come with what you got going on. You like I said, you had a top 5 team when you got the number 1 team in the state, and you have a top 5 team. I ain't gonna lie, that speaks a lot. So how
yeah.
do you feel? Do you feel like how do you feel about the pressure that comes with when you switch over? Everybody like, okay, well, is it they start saying nationals for teams.
I think for me, bro, it come with the turf. I'm kind of immune to it. it's kind of what you sign up for when you elevate. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? It don't bother me, man. As you can see,
All right. So what a successful season look like to you, at least for your first year?
man, success look like beating everybody ass to me, man. That's all I know, bro. I don't go nowhere to lose. I don't take losing lightly. Um, so for me, anytime we step out, I anticipate a win. Um, I anticipate adversity. I anticipate my boys being battle tested. I don't want to really go nowhere to where we got to put 60 points on somebody that ain't gonna hit back. You
Okay.
know, like they don't do nothing for me as a coach, because for me as a coach, I'm coaching against your coach. I let my players play against your players. My team mom versus your team mom. My trainer versus your trainer. You know what I'm saying? My OC versus your DC, and me as DC versus your OC. Like everything competitive on my end. So for me, I'm come on with it, Holmes. Like you can't play for them kids. So um, and I can't play for mine, so we just put them in the right positions, to the best of our ability based on rosters. But to your question, Darren, my player partner for real, folks really probably don't know this, but I think Darren Mama gave me my first real job in Miami. And then my first day at work, she brought me lunch, bro. She dropped my first plate of lunch. Shout out to Miss Anita. Like that's me and Darren go way back, like way back. And we gonna tap in too, cause me and him got some business to handle. But yeah, we looking at Southern hospitality too though. We definitely looking at Southern hospitality on pulling up out there. That's definitely something that's on the table. But we trying to move as an org, man. That's one thing we're big on. So a lot of decisions that'll be made, man, on his end, what I'm being told is kind of org based on how many folks ready to move.
Hey, coach. So I know you hear the kids talking because you got a lot of returns, correct? From last season
Um,
for
I'm, I'm,
ATL Charter.
oh yeah. They got a lot of returning kids, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it did. Did you hear any? Did you hear any talking about who they want to play? Because I kind of got an idea, but I just want to see what's their measuring stick and some of the teams that they looking forward to playing most
Man,
next
I'm gonna
season.
be honest with you.
I'm,
I ain't heard nothing yet.
okay.
These kids been doing backflips just to link up. Like it's kids who probably did the R&R camp together now on the same team. It's kids who been only talking on IG. You know what I mean? Because you the man on your team, he a man on this team, and now y'all on the same team. Like these kids, when I tell you, man, we put them folks on the hills and made them folk run 30 hills. You know, not one kid quit.
Mm.
Not even a lineman, Holmes. Nobody quit. Everybody dapping each other up. Everybody running back looking for water. But they all excited to be with each other, man. I put them on cool down for 4 minutes in the shade. Bro, you see all them kids huddled together.
Mhm.
Y'all done seen kids, man. You got this click go left, this click go right. Man, them kids was all clicked together. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that. So nah, I'm pretty sure they'll give us their checklist of who they trying to tap out first. Um,
I'm gonna
but
give you one. I think they're gonna try. They're gonna for sure want some get back with Rarebreed.
Absolutely.
I think last year they was pretty good, man. I seen, actually filmed a couple of games from Atlanta Chargers, but they kind of ran into a halt when they played versus Rare Breeds, who came off a really good game with Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Like they end up almost beating them. Like they was kind of going back and forth and stuff like that.
first we played, that was my team. We played Atlanta Chargers first to go see Lambo.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, all right, my bad, I got it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was a shootout. That game, like
that's a
that,
mental game though, coach. That's
that
a
quarterback is dog. I ain't
you know,
gonna lie to you.
yeah. I mean, that's a good point you just brought up, coach. Like coach again, because listen, I brought up mental, right? Previous games, these same kids, 98% of that same roster will play Lambo and can't get in the box, or we'll get on damn near in the red zone and do something crazy and turn it over, because mentally they checking out. That game, these same kids took Lambo to the wire. What was the difference? It's just mentally, sometimes kids say, oh, that's such and such, and they kind of go on the tank. That's the hardest part about traveling and doing a travel team is kids get caught up in the hype too. You know what I'm saying? And trying to keep them level headed, brother, and letting them know they kids like y'all. is probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest obstacles you have to deal with playing on that level. But yeah, that was our squad too, man. Like them same boys, I had most of them boys since they were 7, homes.
Mm.
Are any of them coming with you to the ATL Chargers?
Yeah, a few of them did pull up, man, but um and really that really was, like I was telling one of my other coaches that's going with me, was a testament to, you know, our coaching, because we didn't reach out to not one kid to recruit them. They reached out, coach, when we getting started. Hey, look, mom, this is what we thinking. This what's on the table. We gonna go at the best option, because really we had about 7 teams reach out, like wanting me to bring the boys or bring the coaches or whatever they way. All the parents was like, okay, keep us in the loop. And man, when I tell you, like, I just made a decision. I only told one person, and then I walked out to a practice on a Sunday, man. I was like, well, dang, all right, I guess we moving. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like, I guess we about to fire this train up. So I can't really say who coming, who's staying, or whatever. I just encourage everybody to do what's best for their child. You know what I mean? Like, do what's best for your move. I know for me, I mean, my child, I want the development. I want them to have fun. We also think in middle school, so I wanted to pull back just a little bit from some of the strains of just playing. Because one thing about being rep, bro, you going to the smoke. Like, all the smoke ain't coming to you, because folks really ain't on that type of time. So you got to go to them, which I know y'all seen DeMarcus do, fly around the whole United States, everywhere but Hawaii, and I think they trying to go there this year,
dang.
the Hawk folks down. But some of my parents, man, they want to kick back from some of that, man. So I'm excited, man. Like I said, I don't know who all popping out or whatever, but yes, a couple of them did, man, and I was happy to see them. You know what I mean?
So do you know where any of those kids from Tucker going? And if so, could any of them be possibly playing with you this season?
They'll be round, coach.
Okay. I did, man. It was some
Yeah,
dog.
there
Especially I
was some.
like number 11 too.
They'll be round, coach.
So
Okay.
so if y'all get to a place where y'all can, do some national stuff, if y'all get to that level, is that something that we will see, or will y'all try to keep it strictly Georgia? Like, if y'all get in rankings and all of that good stuff, can we
So
see another Coach Rod team out there, or it's like, nah, we gonna kind of leave it at Georgia?
no, we ain't leaving it at nothing. I told you we don't leave nothing on the table. If it's food, we eating. But I will say we gonna walk. We ain't gonna run.
Okay.
You know, gonna make sure all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed, because I don't like losing. You know what I'm saying? And it's better to be prepared than to step out somewhere unprepared, because that's the biggest way to lose parents and kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't just embarrass yourself as a coach, but embarrassing them kids by putting them in bad situations, knowing you ain't had a full week of practice, knowing they all not in shape, knowing your O line don't know all they blocking assignments, and you trying to go out there versus somebody like Howard and wonder why them folks 79-2 on your ass.
Mm.
Like, but we gonna walk it. And if that's what the end of the season turn into, we ain't ducking that either. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I ain't gonna put Coach Will business out there, but Coach Will got a little master plan, and I agree with it. Like, for the oil, um, it possibly there. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, I don't think no parent want to share stray away from the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ready, like, that right.
Based on what I see,
Hmm.
I definitely see a really good team, especially like if all the pieces that I'm thinking about right now is able to come and join. I think I could see some real noise being made. You know what I'm saying? So,
They dare,
coach,
they dare. Um,
like, so coach, look, all right. So you mentioned some tournaments. Are you actually planning? Like, cause I know you talked about maybe planning a Southern Hospitality, but also you mentioned Warzone, and then you mentioned that tournament for Lambo. Are you planning the Lambo in the Warzone? Or which one are you planning or planning to
that
play in?
that's above my pay grade right now.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
right now, like, for me to just point out which tournaments or whatever the coaching staff, want to go to or play in, they ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But what I will tell you is it's about 9 tournaments on the board, and it's based off of how ready these kids can get in 3.5 weeks. Because most of them just finished 7-on-7 last week. The linemen ain't really been outside but a week. And then you talking about kids coming over for the first time. We got a couple kids that you have to bring up the code. That don't even know what a track is. You know what I'm saying? You say you get on your track, they were looking at us like, what?
Mhm.
Like, all right, we're gonna break it down a little bit. Let's go back some. A lot of them don't even know how to like hand placement type shit. So we'll get them right, man, and we'll see what it look like in a couple weeks. But I will say Southern Hospitality is on the table. Lambeau is on the table. Warzone is on the table. It's one in Kentucky coach was talking about. I think Beat 'em and Feed 'em or something like that in Florida. I saw that on the list.
Absolutely.
I saw marble tournaments, you know what I mean, on the list, but it's the timing of the dates and how fast we can get these kids up the code to at least be able to compete, and not look goofy. I think is what the 12U coaching staff is looking at, as well as Coach Will and Team CC. Like CC ain't bullshitting, y'all.
Mm.
I tell y'all, she might have well just been a lawyer or some shit, bro. Like she's so like into the admin side, so
Mm.
it gotta make sense to step out. And then I think yeah, we'll do that. YNC is on the table too. YNC in August was on the
That's
list.
okay. Coach, you said, do you have a specific group? I think earlier I heard you say you coach the defense. You
Mhm.
defense coordinator. What can we expect? I know I remember
I'm
what a Coach Rod defense looked like, but I'm just wondering what can we expect from a 12U Coach Rod defense, man, and one of the hardest age groups in Georgia to play in.
I think for me, man, I'm just helping with the defense. I'm getting back to my roots because
Okay.
as a head coach, man, I pulled the staff together
Mhm.
and I trusted them and I let them coach. You know what I'm saying? Which was as at sometimes the hardest thing to do. Is to just step back and say, look, man, you brought him over here for this shit. Let him handle his business. You know what I'm saying? So for me, helping out on the defense, we going physical, man. Like I think that's something that the last year and a year and a half, we kind of got a little lackadaisical up front on that D line. So I'm gonna be having my focus in more so on D line on the stunts on the line, and that physical hand placement, that 5-6 hats to the ball type defense. I'm going back to the basics to where it's major consequences for giving up points. Like I don't give a damn if it's a field goal, like come practice is up. Like we going back to the basics of just that real A Rod that I got known for coaching defense from.
Mhm.
Um physical, real physical.
Yeah,
I love
man, I'm glad. But one thing I am glad because I believe in the art of development. So the one thing that I am glad, man, is that whoever you coaching, they're gonna get the terminology that they need. They're gonna
it.
get the schemes. They're gonna know how to read the schemes. They're gonna, be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's really a lost art. And not only that, I seen something, which is why I'm keep bringing up the point, where they saying that the NFL coaches are upset now because they seeing these players and they don't even know a lot of these schemes and stuff like that, which is crazy because how did they get through to college? But
Just
I understand
athletic.
that, yeah. So I understand that sometimes some people are just better than the rest. You know what I'm saying? So they can actually bypass that. But they were saying that a lot of the NFL coaches, they like, man, they don't even know simple and basic stuff. And I'm gonna be honest too. I really think that a lot of coaches don't even know it. I that's where I'm gonna go, go with it because I can't fathom them not understanding, certain schemes or whatever, right? If the coach is actually talking about it, because they may run something else, giving it a different name, but then they're not correlating it together. You feel what I'm saying? They're not telling you what the real name of it is. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? So
And so to your point, coach, I think it's 2 points to that. It's 2 points. So everybody, just because you was a standout or you played in the league doesn't make you a coach, right? Everybody can't coach. You know what I mean? You could be a dog, phenomenal player, but to translate that back is way more difficult than what people give people credit for. That's first. So everybody's not a coach, although they may know football or played it. But the second thing to that is it's the schemes, right? As a coach, you got to know what them kids fit in your scheme. You can use RG3 as the perfect example. At Washington, bruh, he was like, he looked at Heisman at Washington. The moment he left that scheme, he left the NFL.
Right.
You get so many players. Chad Johnson, when he left Cincinnati, he left the scheme. He was on a down spiral from there. So when, as a coach, you got to look at your roster and your depth chart to see how does this kid fit in my scheme. They all fit somewhere. So you don't never have to turn a kid around, except all kids. They fit somewhere. But as a coach, you got to be able to break that down and put them in there.
Now, so coach, you say you went from rec, Riverdale, Fed, rec ball to I ain't gonna even say travel. I'm not trying to no funny stuff to anybody out there. Rarebreed is a little bit bigger than travel. They be gonna say national. You went national, and now you coming back travel. What's the difference, man? What's the big what would you say like these are the two major differences between like a team that comes in and has national expectations, pure rec ball, pure travel ball.
Parents,
Okay.
parents, you know, I sit back and I watch, you know what I'm saying? And um I think parents on one side kind of
Mhm.
feel it's okay, you'll get them next play. Parents on the other side, you embarrassing them. You know what I mean, like parents on the other side, you not doing your job and they got homegirls and partners and everybody watching. They just take the game a little more serious when you defending the throne. Like anytime you playing on a travel team, you don't just represent that team, Holmes. You represent the state of Georgia. Like I hear Howard and they laugh, but the shit real. But I hear Howard tell people all the time, stay your ass inside 285. You know what I'm saying? Because like you'll be surprised, man. You know how hard them folks tried to step down on us when we went and played OG Ducks. You know what I'm saying? Like they just felt like Lambo was it. Everybody else stay inside 285. They trash talk. The parents trash talk. The coaches, y'all trash. Y'all can't beat Lambo. I said, Coach, you can't beat me though. You can't beat me. You just want to ride. But it's like it's that level of seriousness. Like you got to lock all the way in, bro. Like you can't be leaving Georgia getting tapped out like that. That hurts you coming back to the city. And they hold you accountable for that shit for real in Georgia, bro.
So I say that one of the teams will be ATL Bengals, man. I apologize because they went down to DC and got, whew, I think it was over 30 something nothing. I was like,
And I promise you, the OG Mike Brown had a hard heart when they got back. Like I'm serious, and it ain't no shade to them boys or nothing like that. But like, just being honest, like especially a dude like Mike Brown, man. Mike Brown got a lot of stripes, man. You know what I'm saying? Holmes worked hard to build up his shit. Like for you to step out, you know what I mean, unprepared. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the type of shit come with, bro. We couldn't step out on Demarcus' face like that and get ran down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't, bro. Like man, that man be calling your ass before you can even get back to your hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, but
three
not,
for them, Kelly. Don't fucking piss Kelly off, goddamn, because Kelly got there, Coach Kelly in your shit ASAP. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you don't get that on one side, and then on the other side, you get it. It's just a little bit more, you know. It mean more. I mean, the meaning is different in a nutshell, Coach.
Okay. I really like that. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That's probably the best answer I've probably ever heard is parents. Cause it's like, man, it could go both ways. It could be a great thing. Cause you do have those parents that's gonna have those expectations. But sometimes, man, it's just like I think something you said earlier. You have expectations, but it's your kid doing it though. You expecting a lot from me, as opposed to sometimes the other side of the parents don't really expect the negative thing. They don't expect nothing from the coaches, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, man, I'll be happy when we can find that medium.
They do, but they not in our huddle, coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like they not hearing their kid whining. They not hearing their kid say, "Well, he too big." They not saying, "But coach, he stepped on my finger." Oh, but coach, you know what I mean? Like they
Mm-hmm.
don't hear their child turn into divas.
Mm-hmm.
That's just being a dollar, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't hear their child turn into divas. They just want you to work a miracle with their diva ass child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Hey,
saying? Tell they child, stop complaining. You making me look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Stop pouting in the middle of the game. Stop waiting on flags and get in the box. Like they don't tell their child like you look crazy for throwing a temper tantrum on live for the whole world to watch. Like you know, but they'll say coach fucked the game up. Nah, my you know what I mean? Like the kids, that shit is contagious.
so are y'all against parents coming to coach on the sideline? Like,
Yes, because we want coaches on the sideline. Now, if you're a coach and you got a kid, then so be it. You just a coach and a player. But as far as like because your son good, you know what I mean? You just think you can walk on this field and do what you want to do, that's cap.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't like it. I'm gonna tell you that straight up.
Um,
And for any coach that's listening, I don't appreciate Daddy Ball. I did like 3 videos talking about Daddy Ball because I've seen a couple things. One thing I have seen was the coach undermine the fact that they son was the one that made the mistake.
Right.
That was one. The other thing was when the other kid made a mistake, they took him out instantaneously. The third one was when the other coach don't put his son in, then it's a commotion on the sideline, right? Then the fourth, I'm gonna go with the fourth. The fourth was I have seen coaches tell their son to be in a certain position. I've seen just flat out parents also do this. Tell they kid to be in the same position. Oh, go back, go back. No, go back, go back, go back, right? And that the area that they now told them to be in went
Mm-hmm.
against the whole scheme or the coverage that they were running on the offense, got scored on, and the parent got mad. Bruh, if you wouldn't, first of all, if you wouldn't have told that young man not to move, to move, if you wouldn't have told him that, he would have been in the right position at the right time in the right place. But your decision to be all in the game, not trusting the coaches that you decide to allow your son to play for. Now that he got scored on, you want to blame the coaches for
Right.
your decision.
right. And that's something else too on the travel side. You kind of everybody want to be a coach, you know, in the stands. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Parents don't really be knowing the philosophy that you may be going with, right? I okay, Coach Ken. So if I know you got two deep ball players, right, then I'm gonna stay in my two high.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I give you everything underneath, and we'll rally down. I still don't care. Even if you get 2 first downs, you won't score. Because once we shorten this field up, your deep ball is no longer a threat to me. So we
Mm.
can go back to play our type of ball. But a parent would be like, "Oh, you gave up 2 first downs, and you don't know what the fuck you doing." And
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? You go to blunt. That's why y'all gotta stay in the stands, man. Like football is more than what meets the eye. Like you gotta strategize throughout the whole game. You get what I'm saying? Like you gotta know who you playing against. So I'm with you on that, which is why we don't allow parents on the field. And I'm gonna tell you what else. I don't take that shit personally. You know how many times I get online and see some of my own parents capping down about me, man, but they be right there in practice or they get out their feeling and apologize later. Like I be having thick skin and all that, man. I don't take none of that shit personal as long as it's handled in a certain way. Like you ain't for to walk me down on no goofy shit because I ain't going for that one. But like the back and forth online or whatever, man. I think I cuss the Dolphins out every Sunday, but you know what I'm saying? I still got everything dolphin throughout my whole house. You get what I'm saying? So that part too come with football, bro. You gotta have thick skin because everybody, like you say, Cole, they'll do something goofy and blame you. You know what I mean? They left the kid where he's supposed to be, whether in the third, you know what I mean, them quarters or them flats, or even if he just playing the hook and curl like he supposed to, might have got a pick.
Yeah, I've seen it. So for y'all parents that's out there, I think being coachable, and then I also got to tell whoever watching, as far as the parents, your behavior can actually hinder your son life, can hinder your son career. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I've talked to scouters. I've talked to recruiters, and they told me I have decommitted from several players. That was the number one option because of their parents. And so it's too much stuff going on. You talk about College Park getting the facility taken away, and one of the reasons being behind it was because of the violence, the drinking, and all that stuff. So this year we got to be on our best behavior. We can't expect our kids to be able to have more reserve, more resolve, more discipline, right, than we do as the parents, because you can't misbehave and then expect your son not to do the same. You that child's role model. So you got to be the first person that they look at and understand how to behave in certain situations.
Accountability.
Accountability for sure. But yeah, man, that go ahead. If you got some more, I don't want to hold Coach too long, but hey, Coach, we
Have
we
much
would love you come back
I
on
love,
in the
yeah,
season.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
And
During
I'm,
the
he know me personally, so I'm waiting for Coach Rod to give me that invite, man. When he ready for practice, when he ready for them boys, for the world to see who they is. You feel what I'm saying? He know he can let me know when he ready for that first game, action, scrimmage, whatever.
It's
Give my
coming.
phone a ring. You know I'm coming out there.
Yeah, that one thing my dog always do, man. He has always popped up. Hey, look, when that boy say he'll be that coach, I be there by 9:30. He be there at 9:29.
I'm gonna be there. I
So
definitely want to get them. I want to get your players out there. I'm ready to see, man. I'm ready for the Atlanta Chargers to be on
yeah.
the scene this year.
Working a couple different angles too, man. I just want to put out there real quick, man. I'm definitely gonna be working with R&R and the Seal to bring camps, combines, and some tournaments to Georgia, man. I know the notion is, it's hard to get in Georgia, but I think some of the stuff that's going on, such as R&R combines and All-Star games, the exposure that's coming behind that job has sent my son through the moon. And I'm gonna open it up for everybody. Like I'm gonna bring folks in, whatever, and that's me after youth football starting that side now. I'm gonna be working with Travis over with 300. He doing something similar. And I let him announce his news on that. But we working together closely too to put a major play together for the kids of Georgia. Um, and I think for me, man, the more camps, the more we could get them stars, the more we could get to 24/7 to get them take a look at these kids. I'm gonna keep standing on business for that, man. So for me, I'm planning a lot, for myself after, this youth coaching is over. Because once my son go to high school, I'm not starting over. At that point, I'd rather, just keep giving back to the kids on what I can at that point, like camps, combines, turn, you know what I mean? Showcases, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's what I'm on, man. That's what I'm on. The type of time I'm on, man.
man, that boy looks like this.
Come on,
He
man, Coach Rod, man. Shout out to Coach Rod, man. Make sure y'all
that's
tap
dope.
in with him, cause
Yeah.
he had the R&R camp this year. You had it in spring
Yeah,
break, around spring break.
did it over in McCurry. Shout out to Coach Billy, man. That's my brother. Bill opened doors for us, man, and the hospitality was awesome, man. We had almost 100 kids so pop out for the first one, which is major.
Hmm.
Um, you know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed it. We had a couple kids coming from all over. It was major, but I want Vegas and Texas to tap in, man, because I'm trying to get Darren to let slide out there and do a Southern hospitality in Vegas. And I've been talking like blowing him up. Like, let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Vegas. Like, let's go to Vegas. So Vegas, man, y'all tap in, man. Y'all hit the Seal IG up and tell them, man, Coach A-Rod told us to get in your chest, man. So we can get out to Vegas, man, with a Seal tournament, man.
Hey, that's dope. I know the Georgia Eagles, they got some games out there early in the season too. So
Hmm.
I know it's somewhere that a lot of people are going. So that's dope, man. All the stuff that you got, man,
Me
I
too.
think would definitely do well. Best wishes on that. Like I say, man, I appreciate you coming on. Darren, like he usually come on when he get ready to do the rankings and stuff like that,
Mhm.
But like far as us, man, we just really just trying to create the exposure for these babies. And something that you mentioned was one of our angles is giving these kids like public speaking opportunities, far as having the experience and stuff like that, because I think that having that will basically solidify their future, far as being marketable and doing commercials and all those type of things. So a lot of times we talk to the coaches, but our bigger aim is the kids, so they can have that experience. You know what I'm saying? So
For
And
sure.
parents, I'm gonna let you go, Cole. I appreciate y'all having me, man. But parents, let's make it cool again to hang out on the park, man, and support these kids, man. Like let's make it cool for one kid to have 15 family members out there to watch them perform, man. Let's make it cool again, man, to do the right thing. Because each one teach one, man. If each of us just bring 5 people to a game, man, y'all will be surprised how many aunties and uncles and cousins. And when it's showtime and he got the blick in his hand, man. One of them distant aunties or cousins make him put it down or not do something that's gonna cost him, the rest of his life, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's make it cool again, man. Hang out on the par from 9 o'clock in the morning, man, to about 7 in the evening. Um, that's just one thing I think will definitely help our generation, man. We got to make it okay again to go hang out on the pod without the fighting, without the smoking, where everybody gonna smoke. But let's not do it to where it's out of control and around the babies. You know what I mean? And if you gonna drink, man, let's control it. Like we all know, everybody need to relax on the weekend from a hard day's work. So go ahead and get your drink, man. But you ain't got to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Just
absolutely.
relax a little bit, man, and let's make it cool again for these kids to see something different.
Right.
Then little anti talking about killing cats and feeding it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Before
just
we get out of here, I want to answer my eyes only this last question, then we can get out of here, guys. Coach Rod, how do you get the parents to buy in and stay in?
you got to buy in. And when parents get mad, man, you got to have one-on-one dialogues with them. That you got to be open and accessible. It's rough, bro, but when they call, you got to pick up. You know what I'm saying? And you got to hear them out. You can't be combative about how they feeling or what their angles are. You just got to get them to understand the main thing is the main thing. And sometimes, some people will try to take you off the railroad because, they may feel like you should go do this, but that may take you off the end goal. So for me to buy in, bro, is really communication. You got to communicate, and then you got to commit too, man. Because when a parent know you just did a 12-hour shift and you out there coaching and you dropping a baby off home, like it don't get no realer than that. You know what I'm saying? You got to pop out to them kids' birthdays. You got to remember when their birthdays are, man, and tap in on their birthday. Award ceremonies, bro. You got to be at the award ceremonies, bro. Whether you giving it or not, bro. I'm at every D1. I'm in I'm sorry, Warzone Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to make the B2C galas when I can, but I'm normally moving around the city. So to that, you got to buy in too, bro. If you want the parents to buy in, you got to pop out and show love. You got to post them.
Oh man.
Man, they
You
said,
got, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
He's still here.
I'm still here, but you got to post them and lock in like that, bro. If you want it to work.
all right, but
All
yeah,
right.
go ahead, end us out.
We appreciate Coach Rod, man. Coach of the Atlanta Chargers, national coach, R&R representative, top 100 representative. Make sure that all the kids, man, y'all better start tagging them. Y'all better start getting in with him so he can start putting y'all into that algorithm, man. He can start pushing y'all into them rankings. So, hey, man, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to National Sports Chat and Sports Fanatic. And I don't have nothing else, man. That's it.
We're gonna
Hey,
tap in when the season starts, man. I'm
Please, please call me, man. I want to come. I want to come get them boys out there.
definitely gonna tap back in, man. We'll talk about the game and whatever else, man. Y'all let me know I'm here.
yes,
Hey,
sir.
appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
y'all again,
Good
man.
job.
Thank you. Thank everybody for coming in.